There comes a moment when you look around, and everything feels silent. You're surrounded by people, by noise, by things that should make you happy. But inside, it feels like nothing. You smile, you talk, you go through the motions, but deep down, you feel empty, and you don't even know when it started. Maybe it wasn't one big event. Maybe it was the little things, the disappointments you never spoke about, the people who left without saying goodbye, the dreams that slowly faded away until you stopped believing something better was coming. When you feel empty, you start to forget who you are. You wake up tired, scroll through your phone trying to fill the silence, pretending you're fine. Because it's easier than explaining what you can't describe. But the truth is, emptiness doesn't mean you're broken. It means you've been empty for too long. You've given too much of yourself to things and people that gave too little in return. And now, your soul is asking for something different. Not noise, not distraction, but peace. Rebuilding yourself when you feel empty doesn't happen overnight. It's not about becoming someone new. It's about remembering the parts of you that got lost along the way. First step, stop running from your silence. You keep yourself busy because you're afraid of what the silence will say. But that silence, it's not your enemy. It's the part of you that wants to be heard. Sit with it. Let it speak. It might tell you that you're tired, that you've been pretending for too long, that you crave rest, honesty, or love that feels real. Listen. That's where rebuilding begins. Not by doing more, but by finally stopping long enough to feel. Second step, forgive yourself for falling apart. You're not weak for not being able to hold everything together. You're human. And humans break sometimes. Just like a bone breaks under pressure, your heart cracks when it carries too much pain. But here's the truth. Broken bones grow back stronger. And so do you. You've spent so much time blaming yourself for not being enough, not strong enough, not happy enough, not motivated enough. But what if emptiness isn't a punishment? What if it's your body and soul saying, I need to start again. I need to breathe. Forgive yourself. You did your best with what you had. Third step, start with small things. You don't need a big plan to rebuild your life. You just need one small step. Repeat it every day. Open the window. Feel the sunlight on your face. Drink water. Write down one thing you're grateful for. Send a message to someone who makes you feel safe. These small acts are bricks. And brick by brick, you start to rebuild. The empty space inside you begins to glow again. Rebuilding yourself isn't about pretending you're okay. It's about learning to live gently with yourself, even when you're not. You don't need to know who you'll become. You just need to trust that who you are today is enough to begin. Sometimes healing doesn't look like big moments of joy. Sometimes it looks like sitting alone and not feeling lonely anymore. It looks like waking up and realizing you didn't cry that morning. It looks like laughing again after weeks of silence. That's progress. That's you coming back to life, quietly, slowly, beautifully. You don't have to rush. There's no finish line to healing. There's only today, this breath, this heartbeat, this chance. When everything feels heavy, remember this. You survived every bad day you've ever had, every single one, and that means you can do it again. When you feel empty, don't look for someone to fill you. Look for what makes you feel alive again. Maybe it's art, maybe it's nature, maybe it's silence, maybe it's forgiveness. It's not about becoming someone new. It's about remembering you've always been enough, even when you forgot. You rebuild yourself by coming home, not to a place, but to yourself. You sit with your pain. You learn from it. You hold your own hand in the dark until you begin to feel light again. You speak to yourself gently. You give yourself grace. And one morning you wake up and realize you feel something again. Not joy, not excitement, just peace. And that peace is the sign that you've begun to rebuild. So if you're hearing this right now and you feel lost, remember, Your emptiness is not the end of your story. It's the space where your new beginning quietly waits. All you have to do is listen when your mind finally speaks. And if this message touched you in any way, subscribe to the channel and keep walking with us. Here, you never have to face the silence alone. There's always another story to remind you you're not alone.